Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Triboro Podcast. This is the 11th episode. I said that very weird because I'm an idiot. I'm your host, Justin Alonzo, and always joined by my co-host, Nicholas O'Brien, who is very sad, so am I.
I'm not sad.
You're not sad?
No.
Oh, you must have won the series.
No, but I'm not, sad.
Oh, I am sad.
Oh, you're sad.
I am sad.
He's sad.
I'm
sorry to hear about that.
I am very sad. You want to know what doesn't make me sad?
What doesn't make you sad?
Wishing Anthony Volpe a happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy.
Into the Bronx.
Into the Bronx.
Now entering the Bronx.
Hello and welcome back to the Bronx.
El Bronx.
The Bronx.
El
Yankees
Bronx.
only played one game this series.
Only weird. Weird how that works.
Yeah, we'll start it off with the injury update brought to you by the Triboro MD.
Take it away, Dr. Alonzo.
Dr. Alonzo. That's my father. Come
Sorry.
on.
Dr. Justin Alonzo.
Carlos Rodon is throwing off a mound Friday, which will be today for you weird individual people that aren't listening when we are recording this, even though we're recording this on the day and then planning to release it the next day. Baseball. Yeah. Tommy Canley will throw off the mound soon. Expect to be back late May.
Late May. Okay.
That's good. That's like the minimum 60 days.
Right.
Yeah, obviously a great sign. Harrison Bader has played 4 rehab games so far. Nothing wrong. He's been ramping up more innings. And they're eyeing a May 5th return date.
All right, nice. They have a date, yeah.
Yeah, well, I just saw like a website saying May 5th.
Sure.
So
it's May 5th.
Around
that.
Yeah.
Like first week of May.
Yeah.
Well, second week of May.
This one, not good. Lou Trevino is dealing with elbow pain after his first live session. The initial injury was a tendon injury in the elbow. When I heard that initially, I'm like, Tommy John.
You never want to hear
when
elbow.
They said he's not getting Tommy John, I was like, what?
Yeah.
And now you hear this, that just
now it's Tommy John. Yeah.
That's really scary.
Yeah, you never want to hear elbow when it comes to pitchers.
Yeah, never. Yeah, that Frankie Montas trade looking.
It's still not great.
I have a whole rant about that. Should I just do it really quick?
Quick,
Might
make
as
it
well.
quick. Yeah.
I don't obviously what we got back sucks, but I don't really care about what we gave up in the first place.
Yeah, I mean JP Sears is the only thing that kind of
Even then,
you
it's
would have maybe wished.
He's been getting killed. Waldichuk's been getting killed.
Yeah.
Medina made his debut a day or two ago, got killed.
Right.
So I don't really care. You know what I
Right.
mean? Obviously, you want good stuff back, but it's I don't really care what we gave up.
Counter. It's the A's. They're not gonna. You get it? They're not gonna develop them right.
Mm.
B, they're a shit show of a team, so they're just gonna call up any body that they have in the minors. So is it a case of they're not good, or are they just being called up too early?
I never really saw it with any of them.
Right.
Medina, his whole thing was he never had the control. Waldichuk was one of those guys that was a quick riser.
Yeah.
Sears was never really a high rank guy.
Right.
Forget who the last guy was, but that just.
Yeah.
All right, Luis Severino is throwing Friday today for you guys, weirdos. Should begin a rehab assignment soon. It's really good. That's it for the injury report brought to you by the Triboro MD.
Thank you, Dr. Justin Alonzo.
Dr. Justin Alonzo. Game 1 was called off due to a bomb threat. Game 2.
I don't think so.
Game 2 was rained out. And Game 3.
I don't.
Wait.
I don't think the
You
other.
don't think so?
I do not think the other two were canceled.
Do I have to?
Yes, I believe. Relive the pain. It's okay. If I had to do it with Milwaukee, there you go. It's just something about
Game 1.
the
Sonny Gray versus
the
Joe Negrito.
Central America.
It's
not
my
Central
turn.
America.
I have the talking microphone.
Okay.
I have the talking computer.
Talking computer.
Game 1. Sonny Gray versus Joe Negrito. Bottom of the 3rd. Christian Vasquez walks. Michael A. Taylor single. Kepler single. Jorge Polanco, 2 RBI single. Buxton, RBI ground out. 3-0 Twins.
Yay.
Bottom 4th. Joey Gallo, solo home run. 4-0 Twins.
See, now Gallo's a guy that the Yankees should get.
Bottom 6, Michael A. Taylor single. Kepler rose a double play ball. Michael A. Taylor gets out at second. Volpe throws the ball away. Jorge Polanco, RBI double. 5-0 Twins. Shut up. Don't talk about it.
That Sonny Gray guy pitched pretty good. You got to see if he's available at the deadline. The Yankees could use a good pitcher like
Bottom
that.
of the 8th, Kepler single. Mets Giants legend Carlos Correa triple. 6-0 Twins.
My third baseman.
Your third baseman?
Yeah.
Not that Beatty fraud?
No.
No?
No.
And then the Yankees did this stupid bullshit where they're like, oh, we want to start hitting only in the 9th inning. Glaber walk, DJ single, IKF walk, Oswaldo Cabrera, infield ground out, Glaber scores. And yeah.
No shutout.
6-1 Twins. That was, like my player of the game said, error 404.
Could not compute.
Could not compute. That was a brutal one.
Just a little
Getting
bit.
into the pitching lines. Joni Burrito, 2.2 innings pitched, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 1 strikeout.
He only went 2 2/3.
He was at like 85 pitches.
Yikes.
He
Before
just-
even the third. Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Well, at least he got out of the first this time, but like still.
we did say that he couldn't be worse than last time.
Right. And it's not, but it's not good either.
What is that? 3.1 innings pitched versus the Twins, 10 runs.
Yeah. God knows how many
That's-
hits.
That's close to another guy in this series. We'll get into that. Sonny Gray, 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts.
What's his ERA on the year? Like 0.5?
Low. Anyways,
What a good pitcher. What a
game
great guy.
2.
It's a really good one.
Game 2. Joe Ryan versus Nasty Nestor. Top of the first. Aaron Judge single. Gets the second on a wild pitch. DJ LeMahieu hits a RBI single to make it 1-0 Yankees.
Yay!
They scored a run.
Yay!
They did it.
In the first inning.
That must be the game. That must be it.
Nestor took care of the rest.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah?
Game 3.
No. Go back.
Speaking of 3, bottom of the 3rd, Michael A. Taylor reached on a Anthony Volpe error. Donovan Solano ties it at 1 with a double that Aaron Hicks should have caught. Jorge Polanco right after that doubles at Aaron Hicks. 2-1 Twins. That Aaron Hicks guy is good.
Yeah?
Not. Yeah. Just one thing to note, that was Volpe's 3rd game in a row with an error. That was no bueno, but they were all like fluky. They just were like tough bounces or like a bad. I don't know.
Stop coping.
No, those are the only 3 errors he's had all year. I
3
think
in
it
a
was
row. Which directly led to runs.
I think it could also just be a thing of he got in his head.
Maybe, yeah.
You know
He's
what I
young.
mean?
No, I know, yeah.
So more of what I meant by the fluky comment is I'm not concerned long term.
Yes.
That's what
Fair
I meant
enough.
by that.
Okay.
I wasn't saying like
He gets a pass.
yeah. I'm just saying I'm not concerned for the long
Future,
term
yeah.
of that.
That's fair.
Top of the 5th, Aaron Hicks learns how to get a hit, gets a single. Anthony Volpe single. Judge rolls what should have been an inning-ending double play. Jorge Polanco throws it away. Judge is safe, and Hicks ends up scoring. Bottom of the 6th, that Jorge Polanco guy hits a double. Byron Buxton, future who knows, 2-run homer for
Future
2
twin.
Twins. Yeah, future twin.
Future twin.
Future retirement home. Ryan Jeffers single. Trevor Larnach.
Larnick.
2-run home runs, 6-2 Twins. That's that. All the runs did not come off Nestor. I'm an idiot.
Good job. You're making him look bad. Look what you're doing.
Yeah.
How dare you disrespect the 3rd Mario brother?
Shut up. That's mean. Nestor ended up going 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, 1 walk, and 6 Ks. Then Joe Ryan ended up going 7 innings pitched, 7 hits, 2 runs, 1 of them earned 7 strikeouts. A stat from this game, for the first time of the order, the Yankees had 5 hits. I want you to guess how many they had in the rest of the game.
2.
3.
Close.
They had 5 hits the first time through the order, then 8 for the entirety of the game.
It's not good.
I don't like this game.
I
This
don't
game
like
never happened. Game 3, the Yankees finally decided to do something, and MJ has the flu game. This is the Aaron Judge birthday game. So it's Domingo Herman versus Kenta Maeda. Top of the second, Glaber single. He hustles to second. The ball gets thrown in. I think he would have been out if it was a good play.
Mm-hmm.
It just gets past the second baseman. No one's covering third. Gets all the way to the Yankees dugout.
Right.
Glaber just goes to third because no one's doing it. Willie Calhoun single to first baseman Joey Gallo. Gallo
First baseman guy.
plays it bad. Like he drops it. Then he throws it away to Kenta Maeda.
Oh my god.
So it's 1-0. The next batter, IKF, bunt single. That was the one where Kenta Maeda dove for it.
Oh yeah.
And then, so just back to back to back, just horrible defensive plays.
Bad fundies.
All I was thinking was like the clown music. Like, all right, Oswaldo Cabrera walk. Anthony Volpe line drive 2 RBI single makes it 3-0. Aaron Judge with the second double of the game makes it 5-0. And then the big scary thing in the sky.
The big scary thing.
So they're up 5-0 in the second inning. So Aaron Judge decides to try and steal second base off of Vasquez,
Yeah.
who's historically a good defensive catcher.
Yeah.
Pretty sure who's known for having a great arm.
Right.
He slides, has a very, all 6-7 of him slid at like an awkward angle.
Yeah.
And he for those watching, he got off the base, literally ran into, because the Yankees dugout's on the third base side,
Yeah.
literally ran into the clubhouse like this with his right arm.
Yeah.
That was concerning.
And yeah, because he slid and I think his
He
right arm.
wrist, it was the wrist
Yeah,
first. He
yeah.
landed awkwardly this wrist,
Right.
and then his forearm or
Yeah.
shoulder weird.
And his right arm stayed behind as his
Yeah.
body kept moving forward. So that was scary.
I was scared.
Yes.
Very, 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 very scared.
Yes.
I thought they should have taken him out of the game.
Right.
Just because he's DHing.
He was DHing, yeah.
He was DH, but it's still you don't want it with a wrist, with
Yeah.
him. As much as I'm about to talk about in the overall thoughts about how this offense is bad, without Judge, they would be the worst offense in the league.
Right.
So, yeah. I would have taken him out. Ended up being fine. It's
Right.
fine.
It's fine.
But
It's
yeah.
fine.
It's fine.
Everything's
It's okay. It's okay. Bottom of the second, Jose Miranda hits a solo shot because I dropped him in fantasy the other day. Top of the fourth, Higgy single, Oswaldo bunt single, Anthony Volpe 2 RBI double, 7-1 Yankees. Arson Judge walks. Arson Judge, yeah.
They replaced. They did. So they did take him.
They did take him out. They put in Arson. Rizzo double scores 2. That makes it 9-1 Yankees. 1 second. I'm halfway between I'm gonna burp and I'm not gonna burp.
Excuse you.
I didn't burp.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Then Glaber hits a
a
2-run
take.
home run to make it 11-1 Yankees. Take that, George.
Sure.
You don't know who that is.
Sure.
But my family does. Bottom of the fourth, Jose Miranda, because I dropped him on my fantasy team. 2-run home run to make it 11-3. Judge single in the top of the fifth. Nothing came of that. I just wanted to mention that because it fits the Aaron Judge birthday boy narrative. He ended up going 3 for 4 with a walk.
Right.
2 doubles. I'd say
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Solid. Happy birthday.
Bottom of the sixth,
Happy birthday to dads everywhere.
Joey Gallo, 2-run home run.
Hey, that Gallo guy.
Bottom seventh, Nick Gordon, triple. Future Yankee, Max Kepler, ground out to make it 11-6.
Future Yankee, future DFA. What do you mean?
Future DFA.
Yeah.
Top of
what?
the eighth, Anthony Volpe walk, Rizzo single. Volpe goes fourth to third. Fourth to third. First to third, then a DJ sack fly that looked like it was going 20 rows back, and ended up making it 12-6 Yankees. That's it. Domingo Herman, do not get me started on this mother flipper. He 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, 6 earned runs, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. He does not know how to pitch.
Unless
It
he's
annoys
cheating.
me. Bro, just use raw. I said this on another podcast. If I'm Domingo Herman, I'm cheating my ass off until I get caught.
Right.
Because that's the only shot I'm gonna have to get money in a contract.
Mm-hmm.
Just DFA him, please.
I'm sorry. I don't think the Yankees are in a spot to be DFAing starting pitchers.
We have the only pitcher in Major League Baseball with a 0 ERA.
I don't believe he has a 0 ERA.
Yes, he does.
I don't believe
He
so.
does.
All right. DFA Herman.
Who am I talking about? Who do you think I'm talking about?
You're talking about IKF, aren't you?
I am talking about
Oh my
Isaiah Kinder for
God.
left.
Oh my God.
The only person to pitch in MLB this year that has a 0 ERA.
Moving on.
IKF is my 5th starter.
Okay.
Oh
my God.
What?
Make it you
The numbers
satisfy my
don't.
guess.
You're a numbers guy. Do the
Yes.
numbers lie?
They don't.
They don't lie.
They don't. He does have a 0 ERA.
He does.
And
That is all, Your Honor. That is all, Your Honor.
Okay. Sorry. My bad. Continue.
Yes. You're trying to bring these like irrelevant details up now.
Irrelevant.
So I mentioned Joni Burrito. Kenta Maeda, 3 innings pitched, 11 hits, 10 earned runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts.
That's the could have been worse part of Burrito.
Honestly, Kenta Maeda could have been worse if they didn't pull him.
Yeah.
Like, if they left him in, I legitimately could have seen him giving up 20 runs.
The poor guy.
That game I liked. I liked that baseball competition.
I wonder why.
Let me take a sip of my water.
Yeah. Sip. Water break.
Talk about something really quick because what's that guest? I need a...
English, please?
Oh, no, I'm looking for Fangrass. Give me ticket. Yes.
Okay.
No, I need to get a number to support my narrative. Okay, I have it. I just need to put that in the back pocket.
Okay.
Okay. So, overall thoughts. I was going to kill myself if we lost this series. You saw me the first 2 games.
Rough.
I was...
Rough.
Because I was also, for little context, I also had like a lot of like projects with...
It's finals week.
It's finals week. I had a lot of stressful projects and stuff like that. I was at my wit's end. And I was on my like war path with everything. This would have been... It would have been worse than the Milwaukee series for the Mets. It would have been.
Right.
Thankfully, we don't see that yet.
Yes.
But just know it's brewing.
It's brewing.
It's brewing.
It is.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like you win the last game, so it feels better than it really was.
But it still wasn't good.
It was not bueno.
Yeah.
And a main reason of that is because, as my notes say, stop with these dumbass lineups. Why is Peraza not in every single day?
Yeah.
Like, I get maybe like 3 out of 4. You want
Sure.
like maybe take 1 day off because like logjam infield or whatever, but you got to give him a chance.
Yeah.
If you don't like, I'm not as high on his bat as like a lot of people are, but I still think he could be a solid bat.
Yeah.
And much better than what you have elsewhere. So it's like, at least give him a shot.
Right.
Because the kids need time to develop.
Yes.
Like,
we were quite literally seeing it in front of our eyes with Volpe, and yet these teams still do not understand.
My next numbers that I was going into based off that point,
Oh, look
piggyback,
at
to
that.
prove my point about Peraza. In Volpe's last 14 games, he's hitting .292 with a .422 on base, .458 slugging for an .882 OPS. The power's not there yet. He's having some doubles, but the
Yeah.
home runs aren't there. They'll come.
Right.
In that span, speaking of home runs, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs, 5 for 5 in stolen bases attempts. He's almost screws himself because he's hitting a lot of doubles.
Right. So he can't really steal
Well,
third.
he can steal third.
He
but
could
like,
steal third, but
it's
you
a lot-
shouldn't. Depending on the
It's
situation.
significantly more often likely that you can steal second.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to steal second, and it's going to be a lot more common.
Right.
He's up to a 109 WRC plus,
Love that.
which is very good. That means
Yeah.
he's 9% better than the league average hitter. And he was like really bad at one point.
Yeah.
So like to get that up, like that really shows like how much of an improvement he's had.
Right.
That's why I said I'm not worried about him long term because
Right. You just gotta
Yeah.
play them. It's not a hard
It's
concept to grasp. I know it's easy for us to sit here and say, hey, just play this guy.
Anthony Volpe has only missed 1 team game.
Right.
He started every other game.
Yeah.
He has missed 1 game, and that was just because they wanted to give him a mental reset.
Right. And it's probably
Starting
working.
to pay dividends.
Yeah, and it's just you
'Cause
gotta play.
Can I
him.
cut you off for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think you what's it called? Knew what I meant, but I just want to clarify so no one gets confused. That 109 WRC plus isn't in that hot stretch. It's on the year now.
Yeah. Right.
So I just wanted to Just
clear
so that
that
there's
up.
no confusion. But
right.
go on, sorry.
No, but just play him because, like, if you're not gonna play them, he's gonna rot on the bench. Then he doesn't get his reps, and then he can't get accustomed to the major league hitting. And everyone always says the jump from AAA to the majors is the largest gap, quite possibly the largest gap in sports.
Yeah.
From like bigger than the G League to the NBA,
Yeah.
bigger from college football to the NFL, from AAA to the major leagues is quite possibly the largest gap in difficulty, I guess.
I think it's, for me, I think it's like, I don't think people talk enough about how technical of a sport baseball is. I would
Right.
say technique.
Okay.
You know, you kind of get what I mean by
Yeah.
that, where it's like, I think that really is what, whether it be like a little tweak in the batting stance, a little
Right.
mechanical thing that gives you 5 more miles an hour. I think it's the biggest technique jump in sports, which makes it the hardest because of how important that technique is.
Right. But regardless, it's the biggest gap. So these kids need time to play and to adapt to the major league hitting because there's some really good pitchers. So if you're gonna like safeguard them, like, oh no, I don't want like, even if you don't want them to fail,
Yeah. They have to fail.
It's like a baby.
It is.
Like they need to learn what's right and what's wrong. You know,
they need to fall.
Exactly. They need to fall so they can learn not to.
Yes.
They gotta
So
scrape
they
their
can
knee.
learn to pick themselves back up.
Exactly.
Um,
Life advice with the Triboro Podcast.
Yes. And even like you said, I want them to fail in
Yeah.
a way. Because take Kevin Gausman, for example. I wanted Volpe to face Kevin Gausman. He did. That is like one of the nastiest splitters in baseball for a starting pitcher.
Right.
That helps him see splitters better.
Right.
I can't remember if they played him or not, but I wanted Beatty to play against Kershaw, did they?
No.
I wanted to because I would be shocked if you would see a nastier curveball
Right.
than Clayton Kershaw's
Right.
curveball. So you want them to see those type of pitches so they get better. Crazy idea.
Right. In theory, if you see the hardest pitch of a specific pitch, if you see
Exactly.
that pitch, every other splitter, curveball, fastball, whatever, is going to play down in a sense.
Yes.
Because, I've seen Kevin Gausman's splitter. This guy's splitter isn't as good. I
Doesn't
know
have
what
as
I'm
much movement,
right.
does
I
it?
know what I'm looking for Gausman, so I just need to take it down a notch to look for this
Exactly.
guy. It makes sense.
It's like how Judge in the offseason last year put the hitting cage to like 100-mile-an-hour sliders.
Right.
So
Right.
that's
It's-
still crazy. But
Yeah. It just gets everyone up to speed.
Mhm.
It makes sense, and it just frustrates me that some kids, some are not playing every day because if they're not gonna learn.
You must be talking about Jake Bowers,
Sure.
which leads into my next point. Remember how I teased you about how I was doing all those stats?
You were nerding out.
It was on Jake Bowers.
Okay.
So these are going to be some numbers. So he is in AAA. He's kind of like bounced around Cleveland a little, Seattle a little. Not really that good of a major league hitter,
Right.
but he had top 100 prospect status when he was a prospect. I want to say he's about 30 right now.
Okay.
And he never really put it all together.
Yeah.
But he's made apparently a good amount of tweaks to his swing. So far this year in AAA, he has 20 games played, 9 home runs, 18 walks to 15 strikeouts for a 328 batting average, 476 on base, 859 OPS for a 1.335 OPS, which I'm pretty sure leads AAA by far,
Right.
by 300, 200
Right.
points.
See, he's a righty, right?
Yeah, lefty.
Yeah. Lefty? Oh,
Lefty
okay.
outfielder.
Oh. Look at that.
And those are some crazy numbers, right?
Yeah.
So remember how I had to go to Fangraphs and I was making
Yes.
noise? I want you to
Making noise.
guess Aaron Hicks WRC plus.
It's in the negatives.
I want you to guess who has a higher WRC plus, me or Aaron Hicks.
I believe it's you.
It is me. I have a 0 WRC plus. Aaron Hicks.
Technically, I think everyone starts at 100.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
So you have 100 WRC plus.
I have 101 higher WRC plus. I'm 101% better than Aaron Hicks.
Don't make me do math. What's his WRC plus?
Minus 1% in 13 games.
Minus 1?
In 13 games, he has a negative .4 WAR. That
so
is
basically,
horrendous.
to put in perspective, he's quite literally costing them
He is
half a
costing
game.
them baseball games.
Right. Like,
And I think that's generous.
yeah,
That is generous.
Right.
Go on, as you're saying.
but to put WAR into perspective, to put it very simply, and this is very simply, so don't take it to heart. 1 WAR is equal to 1 win. So if you're worth -1 WAR, such as Darren Ruff and his tenure with the Mets, you quite literally cost your team a game. To put it into simple.
Like how Willie Calhoun has the worst WAR in Major League Baseball since 2020.
Right, and he's still on a team.
Yes. Him and Aaron Hicks, both on the same team.
On the same team. God forbid.
No, but like how I said he changed a lot with the
Yeah.
swing. I have like a lot of drastic numbers
Okay.
across AAA in 2022. His 30% his strikeout percentage was 33.6%. He cut it in about a half
Right.
at 16.9% this year. Ground ball rate was 38%. Now it's 24. Line drive rate 21%. Now 27. Fly ball rate 27%. Now 44. Hard hit rate 33%. Now 53.
Love that.
That's what I'm saying. All these like numbers that are like the model for success.
I'd say so.
Kind of like the things that like
In theory.
building blocks.
Yeah. Look, in theory, you want to hit the ball.
And
You want to hit the ball hard.
Yes. in
Not on the
air.
ground, in the air, and not strike out.
Exactly.
So,
Line drive rate and like fly ball rate. You want
right.
those to be.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
like
It's the recipe for success.
recipe. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, how is he may not be good. Okay.
Right.
But he literally cannot be worse than Aaron Hicks
Mm-hmm.
or Willie Calhoun or Franchi Cordero.
Right.
So why not at least give him an opportunity?
yeah.
Great, like he probably won't be good. It's probably just a hot streak, whatever. But who knows if the tweaks to the swing
Right.
really do? How many guys are breaking out because they made a tweak to their swing?
Yeah.
Jared Keltnick,
Mm-hmm.
Glaber, I think tweaked his swing a bit.
Norman Gorman.
Nolan Gore. So many guys you look this year made a tweak to their
Right.
swing. They're a lot better.
Yeah.
Shocker.
Right.
So at least give him an opportunity.
Give him a
'cause
chance.
I don't care. It's AAA. Those are video game numbers.
Right.
I can't even hit that in MLB The Show. I'm Aaron Hicks in MLB The Show. I can't
Right.
hit that well.
Right.
Like
You
just-
quite literally aren't costing you anything.
exactly.
Giving him a chance.
No, I guarantee you. I will bet my life. If you DFA Willie Calhoun, not a single person will claim him off waivers.
Right.
Not a single. People are like, wait, we have to cut someone to put him on our roster?
Right. It's
Hell no.
you have at least 2 or 3 guys you can easily DFA to bring up someone like this.
Precisely. So yeah, please.
Please.
Another guy that I think that should at least get
A look.
a look,
Mhm.
is, especially with Stanton out, is I've mentioned him, Andres Chaparro.
Yep.
He's in AAA. He's somehow not ranked inside the Yankees top 30, which doesn't make sense to me.
Mhm.
Because before I read off these numbers, let me. Stall.
Is he a primary DH?
third baseman?
Okay, so he
But he could third first.
does
to,
he
like,
play third? Does he stand at third?
He's
There's a
DHing,
difference.
so it doesn't matter.
Right.
So let me, because I know I wanna. All right, it's not showing me his last year numbers. Whatever, I'm being stupid. Okay, so he started 0 for 29 to start the year. So obviously something was wrong. I think he tweaked his swing a little.
Yeah,
The last 14 games, he's sitting 327, 362 on base, 800 OPS or 800 slugging for a 1.162 OPS with 8 home runs and 13 RBIs. This dude hits bombs.
Right.
Like, I don't see why another guy, just give him a chance.
Mhm.
You're telling me that he's better than Franchi Cordero, Willie Calhoun. Like,
Right.
you could literally DFA, because, okay, you don't want to cut bait with Hicks, whatever. Cut Willie Calhoun, Franchi Cordero, Carlos Chaparro, and Jake Bowers, and if either of them aren't good, send them down when Bader comes back.
Right.
It's not that hard of a concept.
Yeah. Well, I know there's probably a lot more that goes into it, but in theory,
Shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be that hard of a decision.
Because if that May 5th date is right, then you have about, 3 series until that May 5th date?
Right.
So that's a good amount of time until that date. So you can
Yeah.
see if there's
You
anything
can kind
there.
of ride it out if he's
I don't-
on a hot streak.
Yeah.
You bring him up, hopefully it transfers, and you ride it for a week. That's
And if
really
it's
all
still
you need.
there, you could keep playing him. And if Chaparro's not there, send Chaparro down.
Exactly.
If both of them are absolutely raking, bye-bye Aaron Hicks. They probably will just send Chaparro down when
Right.
that happens, but like
It's the easiest
no,
decision,
options,
although
and
maybe not the best, but still.
easiest management of
Yeah.
resources.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
the,
and-
at least one of them should get an opportunity.
yeah.
Because I can't deal with having at least two of Aaron Hicks, Franchi Cordero, Higgy, and did I say four?
Sure.
Cordero, Hicks, Higgy, Calhoun. Those
Right.
are the four.
Right.
Having at least two of them in the lineup every day makes me want to gouge my eyes out.
Right.
Higgy, backup catcher, solid
Whatever.
defensively. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get on a guy for being a catcher. So that's not really.
He provides something.
Yeah, at least defensively he's solid.
Yeah.
And he'll have like a random home run every here and there that just whatever. And John Sterling has a cool call for him, so that's
Right.
just
Keep him around.
keep him around.
Right. But Calhoun and Cordero are basically free outs.
You guys can't tell, but I'm staring at Nick because I heard
Yes.
Franchi Cordero and Willie Calhoun.
Sorry.
Yeah, no. So another guy I want to talk about, not even in consideration for getting called up. I just love Spencer Jones, so I wanted
Okay.
to highlight him.
Okay.
This year he's hitting 300 with a 343 on base, 617 slugging for a 960 OPS. He was a home run away from the cycle a night ago, but he decided to have two triples instead
Right.
because he's fast.
Is
he's
it in Double A?
high A.
High A. Okay.
But like everyone was like shocked he started in high A.
Right.
Like he only started in high A because he only played like 20 games at low A.
Yeah.
So, but like, because
Yeah.
he was the Yankees' first round draft pick last year.
Right.
A lot of people are calling him the lefty Aaron Judge, which
Right.
I've talked to you about. I don't really see that.
Yeah.
I think
It's just that he's big.
he's 6'6".
Right.
He's more of a Kyle Tucker, Cody Bellinger to me. I
Right.
think Cody Bellinger may be the best
Comparison.
Maybe like a hitting wise, a mix between Bellinger and Tucker.
Okay.
But I think maybe not as good fielding, but like the speed and arm like Bellinger.
Of Bellinger. Yeah.
You kind of get what I mean by
yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Like the contact of Kyle Tucker, and this is what he projects to be. I'm not saying
Yeah. This is what he is. Right.
like the average of Tucker, the power of Bellinger, and then kind of like the speed and arm of Bellinger and kind of Tucker's pretty solid defensively, right?
Yeah.
And like the defense of Tucker.
Right.
So for a corner outfielder, that's like,
You take
well,
that.
he may even play center. Who knows?
Right.
So because that's what he was drafted as, center fielder. So I definitely think he's not gonna be on the team this year.
No.
Maybe not. Maybe September call up next year. Maybe.
And even that's a stretch.
But like, just with how he's hitting, if he could cut that all it is the strikeout rate.
Right.
If he could cut his strikeout rate, he will be a quick riser. And
Yeah.
speaking of Spencer Jones, should I announce the thing that we added to the over-unders?
Sure.
So we added I told Nick that Spencer Jones would be a top 10 prospect in baseball by the end of this year.
Was it top 10 or top 15?
I said top 10.
You said top 10?
But then you said he would, you gave like a number. Like you said like 18 as his
Yeah.
ceiling.
Yeah.
So we put the over-under at 17 and a half.
Yeah. Okay.
He's taking the over, meaning he thinks he's going to be 18 or higher. Or,
Right.
Yes, 18 or higher.
Yeah.
I'm saying he's going to be 17 or lower.
yes.
prospect.
Meaning, he thinks he's going to be ranked higher. I think he's going to get ranked lower.
Yes. So that's just one note that's added to the over-unders
Yes.
just because discussions.
Just 'cause we can.
Yeah, because we're the hosts. We are allowed
Yes.
to do whatever the hell we
Yes,
want.
we do whatever we
Yeah,
want.
you guys got to listen to
Yeah,
us no
yeah,
matter
you
what.
just listen,
yeah,
you just
yeah,
listen.
we're
That's all-
better
that's
than
all
you.
you do.
We're better
Yeah,
than every
yeah,
single one of you.
yeah.
I'm
Anyways.
kidding. Please
Sorry,
listen to
we
us.
love
We
you.
need you guys.
Yes.
Please, please, please. We're nothing without you guys. Please.
Yeah.
Tell
Much
your
love.
friends.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yeah.
on to the series ahead.
Looking
I
ahead.
did my notes while I was in a Zoom class, and they were doing presentations. So I completely forgot to do my series ahead.
Nice.
So I kind of just pulled up the
Look into the crystal
starters, like the probable starters
ball. Mm-hmm.
for the 4-game series against Texas Rangers.
Texas.
It is going to be war in our room because our roommate Ryan is a Rangers fan,
Yes.
and there will be fights.
And I'll also be crying on a certain day, but we'll get
Yes.
into that.
So game 1 is Garrett Cole versus the best pitcher in baseball, Andrew Heaney.
Babe, wake up. Heen dog
Heen
bump
dog
day.
bump day. Garrett Cole is 4-0 with a .79.
Ooh, okay. I was about to say, hold on.
ERA, and a ERA Justin Plus. He has a 0 ERA. Andrew Heaney is 2-1 with a 4.34 ERA, and with a ERA Justin Plus of 1,000 because I
Yes.
can. Clark Schmidt versus a pitcher.
Give me a second. I need to just prepare.
We'll say
my-
David.art. We'll call him David.art.
No. Go ahead. I'm
I'll take
ready.
a sip of water.
I'm ready.
Clark Schmidt versus. You sure?
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm all right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Jakub Legrom.
I'm sorry, who?
Jacob DeGrom. On the year, Clark Schmidt is 0-2 with a 6.3 ERA.
I miss you, Jake.
Not good. Jacob DeGrom is 2-0 with 3.04 ERA. He decided to win some baseball games.
Yeah, he blew up his first start, but he's been Jacob DeGrom.
Yeah. All right, Game 3. Joni Barito.
I'm sad now.
Shut up. Is 2-2 with a 6.11 ERA. No bueno. Versus
No
Yankee killer Nathan Eovaldi who's 2-2 with a 5.2 ERA.
Oh, so you're getting the entire new rotation from the Rangers.
No.
You're getting their big three that they got. Sorry.
Pump the brakes.
Sorry.
Their best pitchers pitching Game 4.
Sorry.
And Game 4 is the best two left-handed starters in baseball with Nestor Cortez versus Martin Perez. Nestor Cortez has a 3.49 ERA on the year, and Martin Perez has a 2.6 ERA on the year. Please at least take half.
Right, split.
You got to win the Cole game, and got to win the Nestor game because the other two are very, very hard games to win.
Yeah.
So please win one of those games.
Right.
Please.
Jacob DeGrom is still Jacob DeGrom. He's not hurt yet, so.
Not yet. Almost.
Almost.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah. Just some numbers that I remember off the top of my head in WRC Justin Plus. I know Judge hits good at Texas, hit 62 there.
Right.
Oswald Peraza hit his only career home run there. Anthony Volpe has 5 home runs. I'm sorry, I'm looking into the future.
He has 5 home runs.
Yeah, in the series. Book
Okay.
it.
Sure.
Do not gamble. Do not gamble on this.
Not gambling.
You will lose money. You will lose all of
Don't
your money.
listen to us.
You will have to mortgage your house. Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's gonna be a tough series. I feel
It will. The Rangers they're first.
they're first place. Yeah.
They the best. No, the Rays. Never mind.
Yeah, the Rays.
Forgot
But
about that.
they're so far exceeding my expectations. I'd say, even with losing Corey Seager. I mean, you're not going to see Seager, so that's something else to take into account. But Marcus Semien kind of picked things up.
Oh my God, he kills us.
Right.
He
Adolis
kills
Garcia kind of had a great game last week.
Mm.
Who else? I mean, Nathaniel Lowe, Jonah Heim, Josh Jung is kind of heating up, but I think the biggest thing.
But they also, I just want to say,
Yeah.
they just got swept by the Reds.
True. I forgot about that.
I think they blew 2 different games.
Yes, which leads me to my next point. Get the starters out early.
Yeah.
You got to feed off the bullpen.
If you could get Heaney out early and then limit DeGrom to 6 innings, you
Right.
should be very good.
Yes, definitely.
Limit him
You
to
just,
6.
I know. You got to get to the bullpen. I
Yeah.
think that's if you score maybe 1 run off of DeGrom, 1, 2
I want to
off
say
of
Judge
Eovaldi.
has weird numbers against DeGrom.
Everyone has weird numbers against
No,
DeGrom.
I want to say he's either really good in a lot of power or just the power. Because I could think of
see.
multiple times of him hitting home runs against
Fair.
him.
Fair enough. But no, I think their bullpen's probably their weakest link, so I think definitely
You
getting
are
to
the
that.
weakest link.
Weakest link.
He does not have a home run against him. He has a double. He's
He has a
1 for
double.
5 with a double against him.
He's only
and an
faced him
RBI.
5 times.
I was shocked about that too.
Yeah.
I know. I have a
Interesting.
different person I want to look up versus DeGrom. Give
I
me a
mean-
second.
Only 5 at bats.
Yeah, I know. I think he had a walk.
So 6.
Yeah. Nah. But the Yankees they need a answer for left field. in any walks. Okay, so in 19 plate appearances,
Okay.
Brett Gardner
Oh my God.
is 5 for 16 with a home run and 2 RBIs and 3 walks against Jacob deGrom in his career.
Well, that home run was like young boy
I remember
DeGrom.
it. I remember it.
That
bro.
was still long-haired DeGrom. I'm pretty sure.
No, because that was like a meme. Oh, just like a GIF. Meme
Yeah.
of like Gardner hitting a home run off deGrom.
Yeah.
So he has a 984 OPS against deGrom.
Oh my God. Just bring him back at this point.
Dude, just for the one game.
Yeah.
Just for the DeGrom
one-day
game.
contract.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Bro, imagine being Aaron Hicks and you get DFA'd for Gardner for one day.
I would do that in a heartbeat.
Do it. Do it.
That's a good deal.
Let Brett bang.
Let Brett bang.
Alright.
Yeah.
You know about
Let's
that, right?
let Brett bang. Yes.
That was when he was banging on the dugout and
funny.
the umpire ejected him for doing that.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah.
that's really all I got. Please win baseball games.
Please win baseball games. And again, bullpen. Get to the bullpen.
Please.
That's it. Just get the
Um,
starters out early.
Yes.
Maybe get Heaney out early so you already gassed the bullpen.
Yes.
So
We've seen Heaney give up a lot of home runs.
do that.
Do that.
Do that.
Do that.
You've been on the other side of it.
Yes.
Be on the
Flip flop.
flip flop. Flip it. Yeah.
He's shutting us out.
Yeah. It's
All right.
alrighty.
That's
That's it.
anything else?
No, I think
Okay,
that's
well,
that,
shut
that
up.
covers it.
All right. So we're gonna get into the unfortunate section and get into Queens.
Rough series, but
Yeah.
We'll get
Even
into
though we
that.
don't know what happens tonight, but we'll get into it.
we'll get into that. Into Queens.
Now entering Queens.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Queens, where the Mets lost the series against the Nationals 2 out of 3. Thank God they didn't get swept, but they were quite literally half an inning away from not getting swept. But we'll get into that.
Yeah.
But first and foremost, as always, the injury report brought to you by Triboro MD.
Dr. O'Brien.
How do you do? So first off, Edwin Uceda, 15-day IL with a left ankle sprain. Jose Buto was called up, who started the first game of the series. Not exactly sure if there's like an actual injury or like a phantom IL thing, because
You needed Budo to start the
yeah,
game.
and he pitched in Oakland, but once he gets sent down, you can't bring up a pitcher for 15 days after you send them down unless there's an injury. Here's the injury.
Or a doubleheader, but
Right. Next up, Justin Verlander, who, if you're listening to this podcast when it comes out, is having a rehab start right now. So
right now,
Friday.
turn the TV on.
Yeah, turn on your TV.
Yeah.
But he had his first rehab start today, a Friday. He's still on track for next week. It looks like he's going to be back in the Detroit series. So thank God, because we need it.
Yeah.
And lastly, not an injury update, but Adam Ottavino was put on the paternity list. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to Adam Ottavino. Called up Denny Reyes. But besides that, that's all we got. So thank you for listening.
How can we forget about the paternity list for a way to get her on the win in the 15 days?
Yeah. But besides that, that was it. So let's get right into the National Series. Again, Mets won one game.
A game.
A game.
A baseball competition.
A baseball
Exhibition.
competition against another baseball team. It was not a pretty series by any means. So, game one, like I mentioned, Jose Buto started that game. He's not ready, obviously. This is just like everyone's hurt. He's like probably
Joni Burrito.
basically, he's like the ninth man, the ninth in the depth chart. He's probably the ninth guy. So it just goes to show how much Mets are struggling in the starting pitcher front right now. But regardless, 4 2/3, 4 hits, 2 runs, 6 walks, 1 strikeout. Obviously, need some fine tuning if that walks. It's not going to cut it. In less than 5 innings, you're walking 6 guys. but still managed to only give up 2 runs, which, I mean, you take. But on the other side, Josiah Gray of the Nationals kind of had everything working on this start. He went 6 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts. So he kind of had everything going on for him. On the broadcast, they said he's working on a new cutter, which it looked like is working.
Cutting?
It's cutting. It's cutting up. It cut up the Mets lineup. So quick scoring summary. All right, moving on. The Mets didn't score in this game. They got shut out for, I believe, the 4th time.
Cricket.
Yeah.
Cricket.
For the 4th time already in the first 25-something games. Look, it was the first game back, so I was willing to pass it off as like,
Jet lag.
But look, they took the red eye back to New York. So I was willing to kind of be like, all right, whatever, bad game. Game 2 is going to be better, right?
Yeah, of course.
No, it was arguably worse. So, game 2, Kodai Senga versus Mackenzie Gore. Kodai Senga, 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 4 walks. 7 strikeouts, though. The stuff is there, obviously. I mean, 5 hits, 7 Ks. That's pretty good. But the walks, man. He cannot control his stuff for the life of him. Which then runs up his pitch count, which then he can't get deeper into games, which is why he's like a 5-inning pitcher right now, if you're lucky. So the stuff is there. He just needs better control. Mackenzie Gore, on the other hand, 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 10 strikeouts. Should have picked him up in fantasy.
That's what I was looking on my phone. I was looking how many points he ended up putting up. 25 fantasy points. I was saying for the entire week, hey, I'm debating picking up Mackenzie Gore because he's a lefty pitching against the Mets. So I'm like, no, the walks scare me. I'm not going to do it.
1 walk. I'm sorry, 2. 2 walks. So the scoring summary, they actually scored this game. An RBI single from Marte scored Escobar. That's it. And arguably, that run should have never came across because Escobar hit a leadoff, quote-unquote, triple. It was probably, I forgot what was ruled. It was probably a single with a 2-base error, or it was a 3-base error all the way. So he should not have been on third to begin with. So I could barely even count that. Overall,
it would have been a lot worse if he didn't score him, though. So
right, but still. Rough game. Between the game 1 and game 2.
It counted as an earned run, though, on
What's that?
Mackenzie Gore. It counted as an earned run.
It did, yeah. Which I don't get.
You don't agree?
I don't agree. Again, it was a 3-base error. Or a single with a 2-base error. So, like, whatever. Regardless, I'm not going to defend him anymore.
Yeah.
The Mets struck out almost 30 times between game 1 and game 2. When their entire thing is getting on base, not striking out, putting the ball in play.
Small ball, yeah.
Right. And look, I mean, good for the Nationals. Look, they got Josiah Gray for Scherzer and Turner when they traded into the Dodgers. They got Gore in the Juan Soto package. So, look, they got 2 really good pitchers. So, tip your cap to that. But, look.
Didn't someone else from the Scherzer package also do well?
Yeah, Ruiz had a decent game.
Yeah.
So. And then another guy from the Soto package also had a good game. But we'll get into that in a second.
CJ?
Mr. CJ. But, again, rough first 2 games. Struck out almost 30 times. Not what you like to see.
No.
Again, West Coast trip, whatever. I don't want to make excuses.
It's also the Nationals.
Right.
It was at home, too, right?
It was at home.
Yeah, that's...
So, game 3. Thank God. They won this one.
Barely.
But we'll get into that. Joey Lucchesi was on the mound again.
Joey Lucchesi. Fucking it down.
Anyways.
Make it cheese.
Joey Lucchesi pitched 5 innings in the third, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Pitched much better than his line. Pretty sure 2 out of the 3 earned runs were inherited runs that scored, so take it for what you will.
I never know how to feel about inherited runs.
Right.
I never know how to feel.
I mean, like, do you put it on the bullpen guy?
No, it should be on the pitcher. It should.
Yeah.
But I'm saying from a fan's perspective, I don't know who to blame. Like,
yeah,
not
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Really.
Yeah. But old friend Trevor Williams pitched this game, and he pitched well, so good for him. 5 innings, 4 earned runs. He's a back end.
That's not well.
He's a back end starter guy. I mean, good for him. Whatever.
It's like, what, a 7.5 ERA?
Good for him. All
I
right.
don't
I'm
think-
happy for him.
I
I'm
don't
really
like that.
happy.
I
Can you
don't-
tell?
I don't think that's
Can
good.
you tell that I'm happy
I
for him?
don't think that's good.
Anyways.
Sorry, you like your pitcher not going 6 innings and giving up 4 runs.
Shut up.
Okay.
Anyways, there's an actual scoring summary for this game. So, Mets got started off by Mark Hanna sac fly, made it 1-0 Mets. Brett Austin Beatty, with his first home run of the year, made it 2-1 Mets. And by the way, the home run was like a curveball out of the zone, like almost below his knees. I just golfed out to like almost dead center. This guy has some pop. You just got to play him, which I'll get into. But moving on, Lindor, 2 RBI double, made it 4-1 Mets. Another Lindor RBI double, made it 5-3 Mets. Alonso RBI single, made it 6-3 Mets. Vogelback RBI single, made it 7-3. Alonso RBI double, tied it at 8. It's a little bit of a jump, but I'll get to that. And the McNeil RBI triple won the game, 9-8 for the Mets. So, you're probably wondering, how did it go from 7-3 to Alonso needing to tie it at 8? Well, Tommy Hunter happened. Tommy Hunter pitched an inning, went back out. He hit like 2 guys back to back, and Buck left him in. He then loaded the bases. They brought in Brooks Raley. Brooks Raley then gave up a grand slam to C.J. Abrams, who is a lefty. Brooks Raley is a lefty. He gave up a grand slam to a lefty when he's supposed to get lefties out. Now, I
mean,
will
you can't
say,
be mad. It's a righty-lefty matchup.
It's not, though. I will say, Tommy Hunter shouldn't have been starting the inning in the first place. It's a very hard situation for Raley to get put into, but you got to execute your pitches. And he left, I think it was like a slider or a changeup in the middle of the zone that Abrams just launched. So, that's what happened. But thankfully,
If any young pitchers out there, word of advice, do not hang pitches down the middle. Don't
Really?
hang pitches down the middle. That's my best suggestion that I could give to any young pitchers out there.
Thank you, Justin.
It's not
That's very enlightening.
wise, sage intel.
Thank you. Thank you. I think a lot of people really, truly appreciate your analysis on that.
And that's your analysis done by the Triboro Podcast.
Thanks for listening. No. But thankfully,
See you guys next time.
yeah, Alonso and McNeil saved the game to win 9-8. The offense woke up, which is great. The pitching literally, like I said, tried to hand the Nationals the game. Like, here you go.
Thank you.
Take it. Take the game.
All right, where are we at? We're at the overall now?
Yes.
Okay, so offense, wake up. They didn't hit the snooze button. The pitching tried. Yeah, you do this.
Yeah, he took my notes. All right. But I already talked
No,
about...
I didn't take them. You said here. You gave them to me.
Fair enough. But I already talked about Tommy Hunter. He pitched an inning and 2/3, 3 runs, 2 earned, 2 hit by pitches, like I mentioned. Brooks Raley, an inning, 1 hit, which was a grand slam, 2 earned runs. Yikes. But thankfully, they salvaged this game to not get swept. But getting to like the overall thoughts for this series, the offense was nowhere to be found until the 3rd game. I mean, look, I will say they've been inconsistent, to say the least. Lindor has not really gotten hot. You know, he's hitting for low average,
Then,
but
like,
high
lukewarm.
power. Yeah, low average, high power. I think at least
He's
half,
room temp.
yeah, at least half of his hits have gone for extra bases. So he has like he's hitting
It's
like
more, right? It's like
220.
it's
What?
like 3/4 of his hits
Something
are
like
extra
that.
bases, right?
Right. So he's hitting like 220, but his OPS is like 775 or something like that. So not great, not terrible. And Alonso went from scorching hot to absolutely freezing. So for around 8 games on the West Coast trip, he was hitting 353 with a 1.127 OPS with 4 home runs. And then 5 games after that, starting on the second to last game of the Giants series, 5 games after that, he's hitting 0, I'm sorry, .095
Jeez.
with 238 OPS. He had 2 hits and 21 at-bats
Mm.
after that incredibly hot stretch for 10-ish games. So he went from really hot to absolutely freezing, which, like I said in the past, this offense is going to go as far as Alonso Lindor can take him.
No, I have the Lindor numbers, by
Go
the
ahead.
way.
Yeah.
He has 22 hits on the year, 11 doubles, and 4 home runs. So
Right.
15 out of 22, which is about, what's it called?
It's about like 3/4.
3/5?
Yeah.
About that?
Yeah. So, again, low average.
Over
high
60%.
power.
Like,
Right.
that's
Right. Which,
not Lindor.
no. He's not really sure what's going on.
Maybe he changed his swing a little, different approach.
Yeah, something I have to keep an eye on. He's not chasing, but he's whiffing in the zone.
Mm.
So that's something to keep an eye on. But on the bright side of the offense, Brett Beatty, past 5 games, he started 4 out of the 5. He came in as a pinch hitter for 1. He's hitting .467.
So he's played in every game?
4 out of the 5.
He started 3.
He started 4 out of the 5.
But he came in every game. You said
Yes.
he pinch hit.
Yes.
Okay, that's what. Okay.
Yeah. So he's hitting .467, sorry, with a .529 on base and a .733 slugging, good for a 1.263 OPS. Last night, the last game of the National Series, he went 3 for 3 with a home run and a walk, 2 singles. He's now hitting .321 with an .851 OPS on the year.
Mm-hmm.
That's good for a 139 OPS plus, which means he's 39% better than the average major league hitter.
It's almost like when you play the kids, they
Get comfortable.
Play.
And he said in the post-game interview, I was talking to DeComo, who's the beat reporter for the Mets, and he's been up here for, I want to
2
say
weeks?
2 weeks now. Yeah, he's played only 8 games. But he said he feels like he's been here for longer. He's starting to get comfortable. He said it himself. He's starting to get comfortable, and the results show. So we'll talk a little bit more about him in a few. But going to the pitching, I think it's time to kind of question Buck's bullpen use.
Mm.
I think I've given him the benefit of the doubt, but it's
Zach
starting
Britton
to...
would like to know your location.
Yeah, it's starting to get under my skin, I guess. And look, I can't blame him completely because starters do need to go deeper. You can't have guys going 5 innings every night because then you need 4 innings from your bullpen, which then tax your bullpen, and we're not even out of April yet. So you're already making these bullpen guys throw how many innings?
Mm. And the more opportunity you have to have the bullpen, the more opportunity one of those guys isn't right, the more opportunity you have to make the wrong decision.
Less margin for error. So look, the starters do need to go deeper, but I feel like Buck is pushing the bullpen guys rather than pushing the starters. Like Tommy Hunter should not have started that next inning. Should have been 1 inning, done. Because he is an older guy, and he hasn't looked the best this year.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not a guy you should be pushing. A guy you should be pushing is a John Curtis, who is still in the minors since they sent him down. A Drew Smith. Those guys. A Denny Reyes. The guys who have options, the guys who are younger, who you can push. But regardless, it's starting to quite literally throw away games with his bullpen usage.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I will say, the starters need to go deeper. So you have more innings to make up. But some of these guys he's pushing, some of these guys he's using are just not getting the job done.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just my 2 cents on the situation. Hopefully something changes. Hopefully starters start going deeper. But yeah, that's what I got for the pitching. And then 2 guys I wanted to highlight on the offense. One worried me, but after looking at his stats, it's kind of comforting. The other guy I'm still worried about. So the first guy I want to talk about is Starling Marte.
Mm-hmm.
He's having a rough start to the year. His OPS is around 650. Not great. But his expected stats look pretty good. I was surprised because he's looked almost god-awful. He's been grinding to double plays left and right. And I know he's been dealing with a neck issue, so I'll give him that. But first off, nerd numbers. So let me preface this. I will be talking about weighted on-base average, or WOBA. So weighted on-base average is basically on-base percentage on steroids. This is the stuff I like. I love talking about this. So,
15 seconds, 15 seconds, 15 seconds.
yeah,
15
skip ahead,
seconds.
skip ahead. Anyways, so what weighted on base average does is basically it's like the comparison between batting average and slugging percentage. Batting average is basically how many hits you get and how many at bats. But slugging percentage brings it an extra notch, weighing each hit differently. So double weighs more than single, triple weighs more than a double, home run weighs more than
Singles
triple.
1,000, doubles 2,000, triples 3,000, home runs 5,000.
Exactly.
Like how batting average, you get a hit, that's 1,000.
Yeah, exactly. So what weighted on base average does, it takes into account how you get on base. Intentional walk, single, double, triple, so on and so forth. So his weighted on base average, which you can read as on base percentage, is 291. Not good.
Mhm.
His expected on base average, which takes into account how hard he's hitting the ball, what launch angle, his swing patterns, speed, stuff like
If
that.
he's getting lucky or not.
Right. So his expected weighted on base average is 339. Big gap. It's 291 compared to 339, which is the 62nd percentile in the entire major league, which is good. If you guys look on Baseball Savant, you want to see red numbers, like red bubbles, he has this pink bubble,
That's solid.
which is above average.
You don't hate that.
Exactly.
It's also a thing of how mental is it, where like the stats can't show the mental game of like
Right.
if he starts getting luckier, that number probably even goes up higher.
Right.
Because the mentality makes him play better.
Right. Oh, my hits are finally falling. Now I'm confident. And his other thing I wanted to look at is batting average versus expected batting average, which is pretty self-explanatory. Batting average, regular. Expected batting average, same thing. Takes into account contact rate, how hard you hit the ball, where you hit the ball, launch angle, all that good stuff. So he's hitting 229 right now. His expected batting average is 265.
Yeah.
So there's room for improvement. So I was worried about him, but after looking at these stats, I'm more comfortable with it. Because I was ready to come on the podcast and be like, all right, he needs to get out of the 2-hole. I want the lineup to
surprised.
change. What's up?
No, I'm surprised because like even me, like I don't watch the games, but all I'm seeing is like 110 mile an hour line, or not 110, but like 105 mile an hour lineups,
Right.
like routinely
Hard
from
hit
him.
balls, yes.
They're just like crushed. So like I'm surprised that you were gonna do that.
I know. I think it was just because it's more of the fact that
Everything's going wrong. That
right, and like he always seems to be in the center of it. Like there was a time and I believe it was game 2, bases loaded, 2 outs. Marte was up to bat. He struck out. So I feel like every time the Mets had a chance, Marte was there and he didn't come through. So, but obviously again, obviously his expected stats look a lot better. But the other guy I want to talk about, Mark Canha, kind of the opposite side. Not hitting well. A lot of his expected stats are aligning with his outcome stats, I guess if you want to call it. It's like his batting average is nearly the same as the expected batting average. His WOBA is nearly the same.
he's not
as
getting
expected
unlucky.
WOBA.
He's
just
getting,
not good.
He's getting what he's putting in.
Right. It's not great for a guy who wants that his whole game is getting on base. He has like a 319 on base percentage, which isn't bad, but for
not
Mark
for
Canha
him,
standards, no. And for the love of God, stop hitting him 5th against lefties.
Yeah, I saw that in all caps on your.
Yes. So you want him hit him 5th against lefties? I think McNeil should be a staple in the 5th spot, but that's a conversation for another day.
Like how DJ is.
Yeah. Stop hitting him against lefties, 5th against lefties. He has a 615 OPS against left-handed pitching. He's hitting right-handers better. And you keep sliding him the 5th spot, trying to protect Alonso when he's barely hitting against left-handed
It's the
pitching.
Cheeto meme.
Yeah.
With the SWAT.
Yeah, the little thing. Like,
For the people that don't know, it's like a Cheeto holding a lock
Yeah,
together
like
and
the
like
door
a
lock.
SWAT battering ram outside the lock.
Right. He's just not putting the ball in play. He's striking out. He's not getting on base. So, again, it's early. This is the time for overreactions, I feel. But he's someone that I'd probably like to see move down a spot. I think Beatty's kind of creeping up.
So less at bats, maybe some less games played. The hit by
Right.
pitch numbers go down.
Oh my God.
The under hits on that instead of the over. It's almost like someone said he would start losing at bats and start losing
Maybe.
games.
Look, I think.
I don't know, man.
Yeah. Anyways, I think they should
Got him smart.
and could look at Beatty in left field. Maybe if they want to take away at bats from Canna. I know you've mentioned it before.
Who predicted that before the season could
I
have
don't
started?
know if it's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen. It seems like they want to keep Beatty at third base,
Okay.
but it's an option.
Okay.
So that's my 2 cents on the offense. I think hopefully they start clicking after the game 3, and they're gonna need it because looking ahead, starting tonight, Friday night, the big bad Atlanta Braves come to town. So it's a weird 4-game series that ends on a Monday.
Baseball.
Right, which just goes on our little tangent on how weird the schedule is this year.
Mm-hmm.
But regardless, game 1 is David Peterson versus Max Fried. Besides Austin Riley on the Braves don't have great numbers versus Peterson, surprisingly. So,
The only team in baseball.
yeah, I know. But again, these are career numbers. Peterson has been a very different pitcher this year, a much worse pitcher this year, unfortunately. So, something I looked up that I forgot to write in my notes. It's only one game.
Mm-hmm.
But when Alvarez caught Peterson, he pitched arguably his best start of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. So if Tomas Nido is in the lineup tonight, I'm not going to be very happy.
Mm-hmm. And just some numbers I wanted to go over. Ronald Acuna Jr. leads the league in runs,
Oh my God.
hits, and stolen bases.
Yes, Acuna is
A phenomenal
back.
fantasy draft pick.
Yes. Who would have thought almost a top 10 player for the past 5 years is going to be good?
I mean, he slipped to the third round. If you really thought he was that good, you should have drafted him.
Were you not before me? Third round.
I was.
Yeah, so
Just
how was
a-
I supposed to draft him?
Second round.
Yeah, whatever. All right, there's not a fantasy baseball podcast.
Yeah, because I beat you.
Anyways, who won last year?
He also leads the league in total bases.
Who won last year? Who won the league last year?
Um,
Was that me?
he has 4 home runs,
That was
9
me.
doubles.
That was me. All right, we're not talking about Acuna anymore. We're done.
He
Acuna
led the
Matata.
league in cut stealing last year.
He sucks. All right. So again, besides Riley, Braves don't have fantastic numbers against Peterson. I'd like to see Alvarez catch him again because he had a good game with Alvarez catching. With Nido, not so much. Nido has almost caught like most of his bad starts. So just like a fresh face behind the plate.
Mm.
And Alvarez, for as much as we're questioning his defense, he's arguably better right now than Nido.
Mm.
I mean, it's a smaller sample size, but he's like 85th percentile in framing, which is really good.
That's crazy good.
And
yeah.
Nido is a great framer too. So I'd like to see Alvarez.
For the upside offensively, that's insane.
Exactly. If you take a little dip in defense,
That's
Alvarez needs to play. We've said it so many times, but
wait. The kids should be playing. I don't think they know though. We
Crazy.
think the kids should be
the
playing.
kid should be playing.
Kid should
if
be
that
playing.
if that wasn't clear.
If it wasn't clear enough.
But some Mets numbers, McNeil is hitting 370 off of Fried, and Alonso is hitting 281 of 2 home runs off of Fried.
Mm.
Fried, of course, is a really good left-handed pitcher. If Beatty is not playing tonight, I will be very mad. I want to see Beatty and I want to see Alvarez in the lineup tonight. Beatty, you cannot shelter him from left-handed pitching as much as you
it's
have.
okay, Brett. It's okay.
He's not going to get any better if he doesn't face elite left-handed pitching. Kershaw, whatever. I get it. He's a generational left-handed
I
pitcher.
still disagree, but
I know you were more on the front of he should have played regardless, but he's faced Fried before. And look, 2 at-bats, but he has a hit off of him. Let him play against lefties for the love of God. If you want Escobar to play, DH him. Forget about Pham. He's been hitless in like his past 20 at-bats. DH Escobar. Or put Pham in left and put Can on the bench. Beatty needs to be playing. Anyways.
yeah, because look at Volpe. They put him against like Gosman, even Manoah, when Manoah had his slider working for the first time in his life. And just like guys like that, you could tell his at-bats got better and better the more that he faced tougher pitching. It's almost like guys need to see tougher pitching to get better.
Right. So, game 2, Tyler McGill versus Spencer Strider. Spencer Strider is a freak of nature. I mean, he's been insane. Absolutely insane, which sucks. But
My fantasy team appreciates it.
I'm sure. But the Mets have handled Strider pretty well. In 12 and a third innings, he has a 4.38 ERA against the Mets, and he's never pitched more than 5 innings.
Mhm.
Again, Strider has been on
He seems like he's taken
an
it up.
extra step.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. So, he's a hard thrower. He's really good. So the Mets just need to work his pitch count up, and get to a bullpen that is not great at the moment. The Braves bullpen's a little depleted. They still don't have Raisel Iglesias, and AJ Minter just blew up yesterday, or the day before.
There's a reason he's on waivers.
Right. But some quick numbers. Lindor and Nimmo are both hitting 444 off a Strider. So, looks good. And Tyler McGill, nothing really jumped out at me. Nothing was like, oh, he really handled this guy, or oh, he really struggled with this guy. I think he kept Riley in check, which was good, because Austin Riley is one of the better players on the Braves. So,
Which is saying something.
right, the Braves are stacked. And then game 3, Jose Butto against Charlie Morton. Butto never faced the Braves, so I tend to give an edge to the pitcher if the hitters have never faced.
Mm-hmm.
But he's young. He walks a lot of guys. I'm not really looking forward to
I was
that.
going to say, it also depends how good the stuff is.
Right. So Butto is definitely, he's not really supposed to be up in the majors yet, but out of necessity. But Morton had an almost 5 ERA last year against the Mets in like 2 or 3 starts. He has a 3.66 in his career, so the Mets have kind of handled him. And, Morton's getting up there in age, so kind of make the old man work a little bit, especially with the pitch clock, maybe gas him. But game 4, to be determined, versus Bryce Elder. I believe this is the game that Scherzer can start. I believe his suspension is up that day, so that Monday. So I think
you just threw me through a loop. Saying
What?
Monday, that I just completely forgot about that.
I
and
know.
I thought it
It's-
was like, dude, that's...
Again, really weird schedule. But I think Scherzer should be able to start that game. So for all intents and purposes, I'm just going to pencil in Scherzer. So Scherzer versus Bryce Elder. The Mets have barely faced Elder. I mean, there's like 2 at-bats here, 3 at-bats there. So nothing much to go off of. Again, I tend to give the upper hand to pitcher. But we'll see how that goes. Overall, I think you hope for a split here. I mean, I know it's April. I don't want to I don't want to be standing watch like the entire year. But the Mets are 2 games back right now. If you split, you tie for first. You take 3 out of 4, you're in first. Just win 2.
It's one of those things where, like, you could look back on.
Right.
And because you said you don't want to standing watch, but people got to realize a game in April is weighed the same amount as the game in September.
Right. And the Mets literally lost the division last year by basically half a game, technically, since they tied. But a game,
They lost because of the new rules.
basically.
But
the Mets lost the division because of 1 game. So every game matters, especially against the guy who's been basically running the division for the past couple of years. So you hope for a split, you wish for 3 out of 4, and a sweep would be something else.
this will be you will be very ecstatic.
Yeah,
On the
to say the
podcast.
least. But in other news, because of course it happened, Michael Harris, who's been on the IL since like the beginning of the year, is back for this series. Because of course he is.
Back.
Of course he won Rookie of the Year, so kind of gives Braves.
You're facing two people that should split Rookie of the Year.
Yeah. So, of course he came back during the Mets series, but look, I think a split you take a split in a perfect world. Anything else is cherry on top.
Mhm.
But that's all I got.
No.
You got any additional comments?
I want to go in the beanbag chair and take a nap.
He wants to go on the beanbag chair and take a
I
nap.
want to take a nap.
With that being said,
Mm.
thank you guys for watching.
Mm.
Thank you guys for listening. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Spotify. Follow us on social media.
Mhm.
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever have you.
Mm.
And we will see you in the next episode.
See ya!
Bye-bye.